You ain't never been a jealous type. Popped up and you find out. That's with me and it might change your life. It gets real and it's so feeling tight. Cause I'm coming with the real. You know I like to chill. Baby, keep it real. You know how you feel. Ain't no changing up, ain't no switching up. Girl, you know how I really. Hello, what's up, my pretties? What's up, my lovelies? How you doing? How you feeling? Well, now that I know that you're doing pretty lovely, let's get into this pretty on me. Yeah. All right, y'all. Okay, so we're here to talk about the Kamala Harris. People are coming for her race, which I kind of was like, are you even from here? I thought like she was from another country, but people are clowning her a little bit because she says she's Indian, which should kind of be from another country. But however, like, chill on the Indian-ish, people. Chill on the Indian-ish, like, for real. To be honest, the only reason why I would vote for her is because she was either Indian or black. And that's not a really good reason to vote for anybody. And my vote is not with her. And I did a video on why not. Y'all can go check that out at a later time whenever you feel free. But I do love the fact that she's a black woman, you know. All right, so at the end of the day, let me get into this. Basically, a lot of black people are Indian. If you don't know, allegedly in the 1970s or 1980s, I forget which one, they said allegedly Jesse Jackson made Indians identify as black. And to be honest, I'm considered Indian. At least I have some Indian in me, in my family. But it wasn't the Indian that's over there overseas. It's the Indian that's native to the U.S. And a lot of our history has been whitewashed and stolen from us. But a lot of black Americans are Indians. They have black Indians. The stories you hear about in the history books, Trail of Tears, Apache, stuff like that, the red skinned people. A lot of black people have red skin. I have red skin, but it's brown, brownish red. My great grandmother was kind of the color of Kamala. I think she had more coarser hair. I don't really remember much about her, but the stories that I heard is that she used to sit on her hair. And she was full-blooded Cherokee. Cherokee is one of the groups that you hear about in the Trail of Tears where the land was taken away from them. Yeah. Allegedly, that was about us. Black people. So don't do too much. But I still feel the same way about voting for her, but my heart goes out to her a little more knowing that she identifies as Indian. And as soon as a black person says Indian, the first thing that they want to identify is with the Indian in like overseas. However, I have visited these people. I really didn't have that much connection. However, I had some connection. I actually followed a guru over there when I was over there, and he was very versed with ancient practices and stuff like that. And he was very enlightened, and he actually believed in dreads. So he's definitely connected to people who have dreads, and he even dreaded his own hair and had some of his followers dread their hair. So, and he would use extensions, but him being having the ancient knowledge, he knows the lineage that some Indians were black. And then you go over to India, you do see people who have black skin. Some of them are shunned for different reasons, yada, yada, yada. So even some of those are connected to us as well. But the ones you hear in the history book Because I used to always wonder what people I know have red skin. Because they used to call them the Indians, like, I don't know. And they used to scalp people and all that. Now that's why I can say I get some of my feistiness from. Like, if I could literally get away with scalping some people, we're not gonna say too much. But I just keep it P. But I scalp with my tongue. But maybe that's just me. But yeah, black people, a lot of them are identified as Indian. So I don't want people to come for her because she identifies as Indian. Because recently I've been struggling to identify as Indian or black on my documents when they ask my nationality. And keep in mind, I don't know hardly any of the Indian heritage, which breaks my heart. I know it's out there. I need to really do my research. But I'm talking about the original people, Indian, Native American Indians, native to America. If you know what that means they weren't outside of the U.S. They were in the U.S. indirectly, and their land was stolen from them by English settlers. And that's why we celebrate Thanksgiving Day. And they had to go to a distant land. They was forced away from their land. Which means some of them could have ended up in India. I really don't like all the flavors of some Indian food. However, I do resonate with Indian food because it's a lot more vegetarian options in Indian food. And I've tried some of them. I like the baklava. But no, that's not Indian. That's a dessert. But babi, I don't know. It's something where they had like tomato sauce and onions, and they dip it in this bread. It's one of my favorite because I did get to try some of their food. Some of their spices are different from me, but a lot of their spices that they use in their food is very healing. It has like they don't really do too much, just half doing stuff. A lot of the stuff that they have in their food is herbalistic. Actually, when I went to India, I actually had suffered from like trying to lose weight and stuff like that, but I actually lost weight in a matter of days quickly. But I wasn't really eating the food. I capped because I wasn't really eating the food. I ain't gonna cap because, like I said, it had different flavors. But some of the stuff like flushes you out. I was flushed out. I got detoxed when I was over there. I lost about 30 pounds in a matter of a month. Let's see. My skin was cool, but it was hot over there too. But I would just say, like, a lot of their foods is for health benefits, at least at the place where I was at. But that person, like I said, knew a lot of ancient medicines, ancient arts, and stuff like that. But some black people find that they really love Indian food. Me, I can't really say I have loved Indian food, but I do deal with some of it. And like, if I can tweak it a little bit, then I can rock with it. So Native Americans and other Indians, they do have some similarities. However, because the Native Americans knew to forage the earth for their health, their medicine, their wealth. So I'm not saying that those people are not connected to the original blacks, because a lot of the Indians are black and a lot of their skin has changed or whatever. And I'm talking about Indians who had black hair, meaning the curls, waves, some kinks, because not all Indians, I believe, had regular hair, because I'm black. Yeah. And the word on the street is that the Africans gave us up. When we went over there to Africa, they sold us back to the seller. That's the word on the street. So maybe that's why some people don't have really close relationships with African people. Because maybe the African people could know the real. I don't know. But we've been told stuff that we're from Africa by the people that allegedly took our land. So, which is America. But whatever. I ain't tripping too much because like I can't fight a war by myself. But allegedly, black people had to identify as blacks in the early part of the 90s to get benefits, because those who were identifying as Indian were not allowed certain resources, and it was brought into law as such. So that's why a lot of people don't know they're from Indian backgrounds, not Indian, but native Indians. Meaning, if you ask a lot of your ancestors, they will tell you they have Indian in their chart. And some people even have supernatural experiences with, I know Shaka Khan said she had experience where she saw Indian people come to her and she felt like they were her ancestors and stuff like that. Shaka Khan is Indian. Tina Turner is Indian. What, they identify as Indian, or they have Indian in their blood. Several people have Indian in their blood that's black. Like I said, including myself. And I'm black as they come. My skin is caramel, red tint, red undertones. Hair is kinky curly. But I do probably have some part of other countries in my bloodline besides Indian, because of us having to walk to another land, the Trail of Tears, stuff like that. But a lot of black people don't know their history, which is very sad. So I have a soft spot, even though I'm not voting for Kamala, but I have a soft spot for people coming for Kamala because I'm Indian. And I identify as black on my documentation because I've been triggered to do that. Because it's like, but they do have benefits for Indians now, and I be sometimes wondering if I should identify as that because I want some traces to my natural heritage. But she never sedentally didn't say she was from India, because I watched a clip from her recently where she's doing this cooking show and this Indian woman was cooking Indian food and she's like, I had to know you were Indian, Kamala, yada yada yada. She's like, yeah, I'm Indian and my people look like have skin like you. But she didn't identify as Indian as overseas, or if she was Indian as a native. There's two, but also the same. And then there's the Native American cultures that have the feathers and stuff like that, who were supposed to be the native here, which I do feel like my ancestors did have feathers, but it was more so in the sense like they're one with the earth. Like, like if something loses its life form, they still celebrate that life, and maybe it just caused them to wear the beautiful feathers of that. And just because it goes deep, they had instincts and knowledge. A lot of black people have intuition and knowledge too, but a lot of my ancestors had knowledge to mythical teachings that now I'm sure the white American has been privy to, or whoever stole our land, allegedly, privy to that. A lot of our books were burned. Slavery happened. Well, shoot, as a matter of fact, slavery happened before we had identified as black, allegedly. So I don't know. So yeah, so y'all kind of come off Kamala with the Indian just a little bit, because I respect anybody who can sit publicly and identify as Indian, as a black woman in any form, because we've faced so much, we've suffered so much persecution, we've gone through so much trial and tribulations, meaning my ancestors, and had so much taken from us, to the form if you still can say that you identify as something that was so traumatic. I mean, literally, the stories in the history book is really our history. Sadly, because I remember hearing about the Apache, the Cherokee, the Choctaw. I know Apaches, blacks, Apache Cherokees. I mean, black Cherokees, black Choctaw. I know there's one black tribe. What is it? Bigfoot. It's a lot of different Indian tribes that are black, but they have those what is it? Aborigine names. And even Malcolm X says we are not black, we're Aborigine, or So my heart goes out to any black person who can stand up for what they know. And if she identifies as black, we've been forced to identify as black. So she's black, she's Indian, she may be African. It's a mixture of a little bit of everything. And I gained more respect for Kamala because I didn't know that. But my heart goes out to all the Indians out there, because if it's never talked about, eventually it's going to be lost. Because the only way I heard of it was from my grandmother, and when she was alive, and that was her mother. And my mom talked about it. And I would have never known. And then my great grandmother passed away. And even due to the fact that everything that they went through, like she had some things, stumbling blocks that she had to get over. That even like at sometimes we had to like really check on her. So I really don't play about that too much. So if Kamala's my feeling and your sister, I support her, but I'm not voting for her. That's just that on that.
Got your body on me, now I'm feeling like me. I can't help what making me feel. Got me so pressed and it's a big deal. I'm never pressed by nobody else, and it's just me that I've never felt. Baby, can you be mine, or can I be yours? And if not, baby, you can there's the door. Can you feel what I'm saying? Can you feel it?